Alright, how's everyone doing tonight? We're back in the Xfinity Series car at Atlanta Motor Speedway. This will be my third race of the week here. Just more typical pack racing here at this not so super speedway, but again, reconfigured Atlanta that we're racing on here. So hopefully going to be an exciting race. Going to be sort of pushing the whole 40 laps to stay up front. Everyone's going to be bumper to bumper the whole time. So I'm sure it's going to be either a disaster or a absolute thrill. But one thing's for sure, it's definitely going to be exciting either way. We come into this race as the number 13 seed in a 25-car field, 26-car field rather. So our I rating is about, mid-pack relative to the strength of this field and the skill of the other drivers. We're just waiting for this warm-up session to wrap up, and then we're going to hop into qualifying. As we've done a couple times this week, the strategy for qualifying is to complete the first lap on the outside of the racing surface, outside the track, right up against the wall, just to carry as much momentum as possible around the track, and then for the second lap, migrate down to that lower groove down on the inside to set our money lap, or our fast time, that second lap, once we're kind of up to speed and we have our momentum built up. So that is the plan. Now, again, these qualifying sessions tend to be more competitive than your typical oval because everyone's holding the gas wide open, so everyone's flooring it, right, all the way around the track. And that makes the time super competitive because everyone's essentially doing the same thing. And so the difference comes in your wheel movements and how much you turn the wheel and any little extra resistance that you're providing to those tires scrubbing off that forward momentum is going to affect your lap time. So any tiny microscopic wheel movements are going to affect that lap time. So we're going to try to hold the wheel as straight as possible is sort of kind of what I'm getting at here. And that's sort of what we're going to use our first lap for, is to help mitigate our loss of momentum when we're coming onto the second lap. So here we go. Up through the gears we go. 2 laps here. Pretty routine. Now we're just going to kind of slowly let it drift up, and then we're going to hold it up at the top of the racing surface. Trying to keep the wheel as straight as possible in the corners, right? We don't want to jerk the wheel or make any sudden movements that's going to scrub any kind of speed off. So we're just going to sort of hold it here. Sort of hold it, turn it as little as possible. Keep it sort of split between this upper seam on the track. Don't want to get too close to the wall, but we want to be up there a decent amount. And scrub it a little extra there, unfortunately. We're going to drift down the track now for our final lap. Keep it right against the paint. Let it drift up a little bit so you're not cutting off the momentum on corner exit. Bring it back down to the bottom into 3 and 4. Right against that paint. All the way down to the grass now. So our lap time there, 32:170. Close. You're going to see the pole time probably be around 32:12 or somewhere around there. So about half a tenth off of what the pole will probably end up being. As we've seen this week already, the pole times, first place times, end up being low 32.1s. And again, all comes down to those wheel movements. I made a couple tiny mistakes on, or coming actually to the end of lap 1 over here in turns 3 and 4. Had to kind of turn the wheel a little bit more than I wanted to here, went up the track a little bit. coming to start my money lap, and that sort of probably affected my speed here all the way down the front straightaway a little bit, half a mile an hour here, maybe 1 mile an hour here. And you know, that's enough when you're talking about, you know, just a few thousandths of a second that you're, you know, off. So we're going to be starting probably pretty far up. Not everyone chooses to qualify at tracks like this, just because ultimately track position's not too critical to start the race, since we're all drafting and pushing each other and racing in close quarters, and there's plenty of opportunities, so there will be plenty of opportunities to advance position throughout the race. So we're going to wait for the qualifying to finish up, another minute or so, and then we'll grid up for the start of this race. Alright, so we'll be starting position number 3 tonight. We'll be on the inside lane of row number 2. 40 laps here. We're going to try not to, you know, wreck out immediately. The goal here is just to sort of ride along for a little while and sort of get through the front part of this race and just sort of try not to deliver any pushes in front of us that are going to upset the balance of the cars in front, and hopefully the people behind deliver the same courtesy. As we get toward the end of the race, people are going to get more aggressive, trying to jockey for that position. So it's going to get pretty interesting. But that's what we're here for. So, all right, let's grid up for this thing. I'm ready. If you're ready, give it about a minute or so, and the pace car's going to roll off.
Strength of field is 4,307.
Strength of field 4307, so pretty competitive field.
Out there. Head down, stay sharp.
Our I-rating currently is at about 4320, so a little bit above the median for this field. That strength of field is based on a normalized distribution. So if you remember back to your statistics class, you know, there's a normal distribution, z-score, all that. That's kind of what the strength of field is calculated based on, to determine the skill of the field and how those skills get calculated as a result of the finishing order. And yeah, so that's how that works, and we're going to be sort of right in the middle of that distribution. Hopefully we can finish in the top half of this field so that we can have a good chance of gaining I rating. But we're rolling. Just got to keep it nice and clean.
1 lap to green. Line up on the inside. Closed. Pit road is closed.
Now, if you were here, or if you've seen the latest race I did here at Atlanta Motor Speedway last night, ended up getting a great finish out of that. We came across the line in the 4th position. We were up front all race. We led a few laps. Avoided a couple crashes that had happened, you know, toward the middle part of the race. You never know how it's going to go out here, though. It's 50-50 whether or not you're going to get caught up in someone else's incident or, you know, create an incident of your own. And so at quote-unquote super speedways like this, it really just focused on making it through without incident, because that'll give you a good chance of having a good finishing position given how close everyone's racing together. Patience is the key here when everyone's so close and constantly shoving each other. We're going to have to lift out of the gas quite a bit here. Single car runs you can hold wide open, but when you're going to pack with other cars, you gotta make sure you maintain that gap to the car in front so you're not running people over. Put yourself in a bad spot. Come to the green. Focus here for a little bit. Outside of a lot of momentum. Got a little bit loose in 3 and 4 that last time, and I'll have the outside to push forward. Wrecking behind, there's contact on the outside. Damage on the front end, I'm assuming, but Christ, heavy braking there to get through that. Man, these guys are racing for it early. Able to avoid that early crash. Had to get hard on the brakes there to avoid that, though. They always seem to happen directly in front of me. Don't think we have too much damage. Pretty hard contact on that first incident with the car that spun down to the apron in front of me a couple laps ago. That contact was sort of initiated from the outside lane. He got very loose in front of me as a result of that, and I gave him a final shot to the rear bumper, and that kind of did him in. Expect everyone to stay out here. We've only been going for a few laps now. Behind are going to come down pit road. But mostly everyone's staying out.
Pit road is closed right now.
So we've only completed 5 laps. Already some carnage going on. Already have 4X incidents as a result of that hard car contact a few laps before the caution came out. But like I said, don't really think we have much damage to the front end. Luckily didn't accumulate a second 4X from the accident that brought out the caution. We were able to just sort of breeze past that one, the 0X. Might have clipped one of the cars that was already around spinning, and that caused the 0X, but no additional incidents from that, thankfully. Gonna be restarting on the outside lane here.
One left to green. You're on the outside this time.
This will most likely be my final race of the week at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Next week, starting tomorrow, I'll be heading to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, more traditional intermediate racetrack, so should be some good action there. A lot more finesse required in terms of throttle control and all that, steering. So it'll be a little bit more of a skill-based track. Looking forward to when we head to Las Vegas to start the West Coast swing next week. I'm going to wrap up things here at Atlanta with some exciting super speedway, quote-unquote super speedway stuff. You know, still a mile-and-a-half track, sort of still an intermediate track, but the only intermediate where you can hold it wide open all the way around
Get ready. Going
to invite that sort of pack racing atmosphere. Here we go, pace cars off.
Pace car is off. Time to do your job.
Guy in front of me didn't quite get a great restart, but that's okay. Trying to build up some momentum up here. A little push here. Give him a little push. Draw even, half back. Possibly. I'm hung out to dry up on the outside in the third lane. Oh, Jesus. Alright, finally got a gap here. Had the lead for a second, but they decided to bail on me and make a third lane. I got shuffled out of it. Couldn't quite clear myself down to the middle in time. And by the time I moved back up, they were kind of trying to go around me on the third lane as well, so we almost went 4 wide for a second. Was able to hold my own though. Didn't really do much else after that. We sort of able to get back in line. This outside's not moving right now. Everyone's bailing on it too. Alright, outside's coming right here. too hard, you're gonna spin him out, you're gonna wreck yourself too. Oh, Jesus Christ. 3 wide middle. Inside. Couldn't let that happen, so. There's not enough people committing to this lane though, and we're just sort of going backwards. Yeah, the third lane's trying to get by us. If the third lane would just collapse in and help push us, we could probably get by, but we're kind of just locked up here right now. Hard contact at the outside wall. We'll have to go back and see that. I'm not sure if I just got loose or if I got hit from behind. I don't remember. I'll have to go look. Stuck 3 wide middle and just could not, eventually just could not hold it there. We'll have to go back and see what happened. That's kind of sucks. It was a lot of fun though while it lasted. We were starting to get put in pretty bad position, stuck in the middle, and I couldn't keep it there. But again, we'll see what happened momentarily. Might be able to fix it.
Catch up 26 car. Catch up 15 car. Boxing 10 5 3 2 1 right here. We can repair most of the damage.
That's not
You'll have minor wheel damage.
Wait for those repairs to happen real quick. I just want to go back and look at that real quick. So this is gonna reveal pretty quickly. Oh, they started spinning on my inside. I didn't. Oh, yeah. 26 got my left rear. Dang. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Let's see. I don't know where the pace car's at right now. That's kind of a problem. Probably coming up here shortly.
All clear, punch it.
Yeah.
Be mindful, you only have one set of tires, mate. They want you all time. Get done and start.
So we'll keep repairing that, but just want to try to stay on the lead lap. It's kind of my current goal. Some races just go like this, unfortunately, and sometimes you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Fortunately, there was contact on the inside lane, which caused that orange car to get loose. The car behind him sort of corrected by turning right up the track to avoid him, and that sort of made contact with my left rear bumper, and that caused me to get very loose, and as you saw, I could not quite gather back up. It's very hard to gather the car back up when you're stuck in the middle, car to your inside, car to the outside, with the aerodynamic effects that are in play. Might have been able to gather it back up if I was on the bottom, but unfortunately I was in the middle, so. But that's just how Atlanta racing goes sometimes. It was a lot of fun though, battling 3 wide and making moves and being at the front of the field. It's always a lot of fun. It's never really anything that can beat that, other than maybe actually winning, but about halfway now. Sort of wait for more carnage to unfold, hopefully gain us some more spots, allow us to repair more damage as well. Just gotta sort of ride along. Definitely had a good chance for a win in this one, just unfortunate timing, wrong place in turns 3 and 4.
About to go green, stay focused.
We're going to be significantly off the pace with the amount of damage we have, but that's alright. Quite a bit of repairs still to make. So we're just sort of trying to stay on the lead lap right now. That's kind of our strategy for this particular stint, so we can find another caution. People being really aggressive in this race thus far. It's just kind of unfortunate, but gotta hope the engine kind of holds up for the remainder of this one. This guy should probably hold the brake. That'd be nice. There's a car just like rolling up the track off the grass after spinning out, and he's not holding the brake. This will give us a great opportunity to repair some damage. We will not be changing tires in this pit stop coming up. We don't want to use our last setup yet, just in case there's an opportunity to employ them for strategy at the end if there's another couple cautions and we fix enough damage to be competitive, which I highly doubt, but we're gonna try like hell. It's a lot of damage to overcome, but it is technically within reach somehow. We hit pretty hard on the outside wall too, so doubt it, but it's still feasible. Make sure we don't have our fuel options selected. Trying to save as much time on pit road as possible. We don't want to waste time on tires and fuel. We just want to be repairing damage. It's a quick caution. We're already at 2 to green, so.
Catch down 6 car. Pit boxing 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here. We can repair most of the damage.
Alright, we're gonna fix
Minor wheel damage.
most of this, hopefully. Not right now, obviously, but if we can just get a solid like minute and a half of this out, I mean, that'd be good. It's gonna be a sort of a stretch though. Pace car's coming around quick. Yeah, it's a lot of optionals. It's a lot of damage. Pace car 10, 9 back. Once I hit a minute, pit service time will go. Four, 3, 2. All right, fire the engine up here.
Well done, get going. One left green, one over the inside, catch down 12 car.
Trying to keep ourselves on the lead lap while fixing as much damage as possible. Just gotta stay in front of that pace car. Back to the green flag. Timed it pretty much perfectly, so we fixed as much as we could. Just gotta keep hustling and hope we can get a couple more cautions.
Ready, going green.
Is this 12 supposed to be on the inside? Like, get down there, buddy.
Green, green, green.
Riding around for now. You never know. Still on the lead lap, so if any red captains in front, piles some cars up like that.
Flag is out. They want you in single file. Pit road is closed right now. Catch up 1 car.
Then we'll have a chance to gain some spots. If something like that were to theoretically happen.
Left up 20 car line. You have the position when the yellow flag.
And in this case, apparently, actually
Left up
happened.
20 car. After 14 car.
damage here, just like kind of chilling out here. Still not going to take that set of tires. Don't really care about that. Don't want to waste time on that. If only overcorrect wasn't a thing. Yeah, it's a real thing. Counter steering can be a very dangerous endeavor when you're trying to save your race car.
Chester 6, sharp 12. Got the lucky dog, let them pass on the outside. Pit boxing 10. Great job, 10 to go. 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here. We can repair most of the damage.
Let's keep repairing damage.
Minor wheel damage.
So, sitting at only 10 laps to go now. We fixed over 1.5 minutes of our damage, which is, you know, a good start, but we're on 9 laps now. We just gotta keep fighting for every spot. It all matters.
Move it.
This car's coming around now. Got a minute into service done though, so that's good. Feels like it's starting to turn better now with some of this damage fixed, which is good. Definitely doesn't feel as bad. Line back up for the restart, come to the green. One pulling down the apron. Lap traffic, unfortunately, restarting in front of us.
About to go green, stay focused.
When we really need a big crash is on the white flag lap 1 to go when there's no caution.
Green.
Too much damage. This is sort of the money time now. Any wrecks that happen now will likely gain those spots by the end. Cars are running better than it was after the crash. Still a little bit too much damage to keep pace. There's definitely one spinning. No caution for that. We're gonna get that spot. For now, at least. I say for now because if there's a caution, it could easily work its way back up. But It's also an opportunity for us to gain a bunch more spots from the crash that happens in front. We're sort of losing touch with the field because of the drafting that's going on up there. Our car's starting to kind of sputter a little bit. It kind of feels like it's losing power a little bit, but coming to 4 to go here. Got 4 to go. Oh, 5 to go. Okay. Before I got to the line, it said 5 to go, so I was assuming we were coming to 4 to go, but 5 to go. I just want this race to be over sooner, because I feel like my car's starting to give up a little bit. It's alright though. Two cars behind me, only 4 seconds back. That's almost sure to be a pass for position here because I'm running a pretty slow pace right now. The leader's already halfway around the track to lapping me. It's only been like 4 laps. Coming to 3 to go here. So I think we're just barely going to stay on this lead lap. Cruising. Just letting him go around. Much less damage than me. Holding it wide open. This is the pace our car's running. Two to go. So as you can see, the leader's about 8 seconds back. Barely hang on to it. They're coming to the white flag now, so any crash that happens from this point, there will be no cautions for it. But we're kind of in the range now to the point where I can't really get to them. Like, by the time I get to any crash that would have occurred, they'll be gathering it back up by that point. So that crash should be happening essentially right now. I still got to come around the track the whole time here. Checkered flags in the air for leaders. Looks like they were able to hold it together. So we're going to finish in the 21st position. Could have been a lot better, obviously, had that incident not occurred about halfway through the race. Sort of wrong place, wrong time, but glad we were able to finish the race on the lead lap. That's definitely a positive to take out of this one. Going to lose a little bit of safety rating and I rating here, but at least we were able to finish it. It was not a DNF, so might come back and actually do one more of these to get a little bit of revenge before we head to Las Vegas next week. So, I'm going to hop out, take a look at the results, take a look at that crash one last time. Final car in the lead lap, 21st position after starting 3rd, sadly. If we go back and look at the incident, which occurred lap 16, I was lap 17, right? We're in the middle lane, the 13 car. Unfortunately, 14 and 8 were deciding to make that 3rd lane up there, and I sort of had to allow them to do that. The car spins on the inside, you can see it there, the 18. That 20, I think it was the 25 car that began sliding up the track to avoid hitting the 18, the 26 car rather. And as a result of him correcting it up the track to avoid the 18, he got into my left rear quarter panel. I tried to dodge it. So you can see I tried moving up, but he still made contact. That made me extremely loose. The 24 had nowhere to go. The 14 and the 8 were able to make it. Everyone behind, unfortunately, they were kind of caught up in that as a result of what was going on there. 22, nowhere to go. Ends up finishing back in the 25th position, 23 laps down. You can see it from my onboard view one more time. You can see how loose I ended up getting as a result of the 18 spinning down low. Yep, there he goes. Not very loose here. I tried to save it, but by the time I had any chance of getting the save, I got pummeled from the door by I believe it was the 24 car that had nowhere to go, right? I had a chance of saving it, but unfortunately the 24 had too much momentum. So here, I might have been able to save it, but unfortunately the 24 was packing air on my left rear quarter panel, and there was going to be no way for me to recover it at that point. Yep, you can see the hit there. The initial contact with the 18 on the inside looks like he just got loose down there, unfortunately. Take a look at this. I want to take a look at the gap from the rear chase if I have it. Because it almost looks like there was contact between me and the 18 that caused him to get loose. But if we look, see, I'm going down the track a little bit. I don't think there's any contact. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any contact. But again, the aerodynamic effects can be a real thing, and that ended up causing an incident. Whether he just lost it or whether the air that I packed on his right rear quarter panel ended up causing him to get loose. Fortunately, he lost it down on the bottom, and his 26 had to sort of maneuver around him, and that kind of set off a sequence of events. Back it up a little further. There's the incident one more time. Yeah, it looks like he just kind of lost it a little bit. There was some air packed on there. Good save by the 26 car here. Caution's out at this point. Just one of those things. It's unfortunate. And even the 18 was able to gather back up and save it. Go on board with the 18, who initially sort of got loose. Yeah. Sort of losing it down there at the bottom. Luckily, it's pretty easy to gather the car back up on the bottom. You know, you have the apron to sort of save you, whereas if you're in the middle of the racetrack like I was, there's nothing to really catch your car, right? Like the apron helps catch your car because of the angle change in the elevation, right? But if you're in the middle of the racing surface, you know, up in this sort of position, like up where my car is over here, right? The apron's not going to catch you. You're not close enough to it. 18 sort of able to catch it because there's a lot of force counteracting his car sliding down the banking. The car naturally wants to go back up the banking. So it sort of evens out and helps you save the race car. But if you're already up on the banking where there's no sort of relative elevation or angle change, slope change to help you out, and you got cars around your bumper that are pushing through you, yeah, you're not going to have nearly as much luck trying to save it. We'll come back, we'll do another one more tonight probably, and then we'll call it a week for Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's been a lot of fun. Had a couple good finishes, some others that were rather unfortunate, like this one. Mostly just racing deals where guys getting a little bit too close. We're all racing for position, and we end up sort of losing control and causing these accidents to happen. We'll be back at 10 o'clock Eastern. Hope to see you then, and we'll be back soon.